That is what we call a good build fight, chat. All right, so we're going to be doing a build fight analysis here. This is a 1v1 end game between Senior SR Zombies 58, Senior, whatever, and myself. We have high ground at the moment, and let me actually fast forward a little bit here because I was waiting him out. He was doing the wiggle behind the tree. Basically, he had ranged and I did not, and I wanted to play for the W here, so we were not about to hard peek him. Reminder that sometimes playing slow or playing patient is not necessarily like playing boring, it's playing smart. There's no reason for me to peek that guy when he has a heavy sniper and I don't. But as you can see, we have the next zone here, and this is where the build fight actually happens. So I jump pad, he's got the heavy sniper, and once I land, I'll drone free it here. We're gonna break this down because this was a very clean build fight. So here we have his initial build up over from this tree northeast, and mine right here, and we're about equal high ground. At this point, I see an opportunity to turn and start pushing him more aggressively, so I opt to go for that. And we actually cross paths here with the ramp, which is something that happens in build fights a lot. I wasn't for sure if he was going to go up the ramp or not, so to play safe, I put a wall above, and then I ramp up to get that high ground. And you can see he actually walled himself off with the ceiling, and he did eventually run up the ramp. So this is technically an opportunity for me to take a shot. But this double wall into turned ramp and then peeking over the top is such a good play. It will give you high ground in so many situations, and it's definitely recommended to implement into your own gameplay if the ramps cross like that. And I see him building up, though, and I want to play safe. I wasn't sure if I could go for the peak, so I opt to keep building up further. And at this point, we've pretty comfortably outbuilt him. You know, he again walled himself off on accident. He had some flubs with his building, whereas ours was pretty clean. And so we have the high ground. Here, though, some warning flags kind of go up. I don't see the guy or hear the guy anymore, and because we fought each other from, you know, just a one-wide ramp on both sides, this is a very easy structure to break down. So that's a signal to me that he is going to try to break the whole thing down. So when he decides to bail, I also realize, okay, I don't want to be a part of this, so I also jump down. And you'll see he actually is pickaxing down there at the bottom because he thought I was still at the top. Fortunately, we had a very quick reaction to that, which is something that comes over time, but you definitely need to be cautious about in a build fight. And so we opt to go for the drop down on him, and we get a little damage off with the P90. As you can see, we burned all of his shields, and he has the reactionary quick build. So at this point, the build is kind of at a reset. We're now both on the ground again, equal floor and everything, and we have to start over. So he actually double ramps here, which is a good play by him because it cut me off when I was trying to get high ground and peek over the top. But we, from there, opt to go for the double ramp play above and underneath, and then the quick turnaround for high ground. And we did actually get high ground through that. That is a very strong practice, or a very strong technique that you definitely need to practice if you're not already. And at this point, since I know that I have high ground over him and all of his shields are burned off, we're just looking for the opportunity to get that final shot in. So he starts double ramping up. We see this as an opportunity, and we get the jump shot in when he turns around. Boom. Clean 125, I think, damage, and that'll get us the win. So it's all about playing high ground, knowing when to drop down, and keeping track of your opponent. Really learning the moves in a build fight. There's like 4 or 5 ones that come up a lot. Helps your game immensely. So you'll see that in these fights, I use a lot of the same moves, and the people I'm fighting against use a lot of the same moves. And really learning the kit, you know, what moves are good and what aren't, and when to use them will help you significantly. So, there it is. There is a build fight. Don't mind my chat spamming underneath the webcam. They're all dinguses. Alright. That is that, gamers.